Good evening, Chris Lee and Alfred Esmond of Southeastern 16 here to talk SEC baseball on a Friday night. Now, unfortunately, the day is not broken the way we had hoped. We have some games just starting at the time we thought they would be ending, so we will go over what's in the books today. We will kind of watch along with Texas A&M, which is in the 6th as we're doing this, and Tennessee and LSU has just gotten started down in Baton Rouge, roughly 3 hours after scheduled start time?
Seems like if it's not that.
Yeah. Now, was Auburn canceled till tomorrow, or are they going to start that one late still?
They are going. The one that's starting tomorrow, Kentucky and South Carolina will have a doubleheader tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, lots of crazy. The big winner tonight, the weather, so far. So it has really screwed things up and messed up our enjoyment of baseball. I was really looking forward to talking about the games and the books at this point of the night, but we will do the best we can. We're not going to stay up and finish these. One of us got to take his kid to a travel ball tournament in the morning, so we'll deal with that tomorrow. But till then, we'll talk some baseball. First, a reminder, show brought to you by Chair Bundy. If you were into working out and all kinds of things like I am, been running again, and one of the things I've been using for recovery is Chair Bundy. You can get their product in natural tart cherry juice, the little cherry juice concentrate packets, which are about 4 ounces, or you can get the gummies. Any way you want it, you will get what that product gives you, which is antioxidants, increased recovery. You can also get the sleep gummies with natural melatonin in those. They help me get to sleep at night. Every NFL team uses Chair Bundy products. 10 of the last 11 Super Bowl champions, 66 of the 67 Power Conference teams, and every NCAA and football national champion since 2007 uses it. Good enough for them. Should be good enough for you too. Help out those who help our show. Go to Chair Bundy. That's CHERIBUNDI.com. Use the promo code SE20. Get 20% off your entire order. All right, Alfred, here's what we've got in the books tonight. Earlier in the day, we had Georgia in a game that got moved up, held on to beat Oklahoma 10-9. We had earlier tonight, Ole Miss has knocked off Vanderbilt a few minutes before we go live here, 8-3. Alabama's beat Missouri. Missouri now 0-20 in the SEC. And one of the surprises tonight, Florida takes the opener against Zach Root in Arkansas. Start us out. What has stood out to you in the 4 games that have been completed?
Well, that's the main thing, was Florida coming out and taking down Zach Root. I wouldn't have guessed that. I could have seen them taking a game, but this would not have been the one I picked. Big opportunity now for the Gators, right? I mean, you're 1 win away at home from a huge series that would go a long way RPI-wise for them in getting back up to where they need to be. Can't quite count Kevin O'Sullivan out, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
We've said that time and time again, and once again, at least for now and tonight, it's looking that way. So that stands out to me. Man, I'm with you. I wish the weather, wasn't as bad as it was so we could actually talk about some of these good games down the stretch. But the other things that stood out, Ruger Riojas, when Jared Spencer went down, he filled in very nicely. Texas right now still sitting with a 1-0 lead in the 6th. Thanks to him. That stood out to me. And the other one, too, shout out to Georgia for getting the win after losing Thursday night. But Oklahoma didn't quite fold over, so to speak, in that one. So I know it's, losses are losses, but if you're Oklahoma, you'll take a loss like that heading into tomorrow where you could still win the series.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's been a fascinating series so far. The bats came out for Georgia tonight when they weren't facing Tyson Witherspoon. Dayton Taki was out tonight. I don't remember if we had that settled last night. I think we found out this morning he had an ankle injury. Was it a fracture? I don't remember what it was now.
Mm-hmm. It was hairline fracture in his ankle. He is probably going to miss the rest of the regular season.
Yeah.
The voice of the Sooners, if there's a Sooner fan in here that could help me, he said possibility for a postseason return, and it's safe to say Oklahoma at this rate will make the postseason in some facet. So could see him back for that.
Yeah, I can't remember who they filled in with today. I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong.
Christensen played first.
Okay,
That's what
Christensen
they did
played
there.
first. That makes sense. He played, I think, some outfield, so he's a regular. But I think the guy that got playing time is Dason Harris. I
Mhm.
think that he plays corner outfield for them. So yeah, that I think for Georgia today, you got Trey Phelps is getting the home runs cranked again. He went a while without hitting one after coming back from injury. Now he's hit a couple, I think, this week. Slade Alford hit another one. I think Colton Smith may be the big story today for Georgia. 4 2/3 innings, 2 runs. Look, Georgia pitching just has to be okay the way
Right.
that team hits. And he's a guy who's a potential top 2 round prospect, I think, and pitched well today. I thought he was a guy they'd probably go game 2, and he was. So no surprise there. But good for Georgia to get a quality start. Well, I mean, technically you missed a quality start by a third of an inning, but I think that'll fly.
Yeah, that will fly. And it'll fly to hold on to win the way they did, because the guys right after Smith, DJ Radke and Eric Hammond, gave up some runs. You know what I mean? That kept Oklahoma around for a little bit, or contributed to keeping Oklahoma around. And nonetheless, this Georgia offense, at some point, it felt like they were going to be good enough to pull out and win, and they were tonight. So big stuff from Georgia, not folding over. It was kind of, I think it was safe to say, that this team wasn't just going to back down after losing last night, especially at home at Foley Field, and they did that. So huge stuff from Wes Johnson and the Bulldogs. Slade Alford too. Big game for him, 4 RBIs in this one.
And they closed Zach Harris. He got the win instead of the save, but held on to finish it off for Georgia. So Georgia evens the series. And I had a couple other notes here. Let me pull those up. Cade Crossland, wanted to see better from him today. He gave up 7 earned in 4 innings. Again, Foley Field, a tough place to pitch, especially when it's a right-handed lineup. He's a lefty. Georgia can go 9 righties, I think, if it wants to. I'm not sure if that's what they did today or not, but probably close. So, yeah, I think if you're Oklahoma, you would have wanted a better outing out of Crossland, but you also take going to game 3 being tied here.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Next up, let's see. Let's go Ole Miss Vandy, because that was probably, well, Florida Arkansas was notable too. But Ole Miss Vandy, you had J.D. Thompson, Hunter Elliott. And Elliott wasn't super sharp. He was wild, but he didn't really get hit. He didn't leave anything in the zone. J.D. Thompson made a couple of bad pitches, paid for it. Ole Miss played from ahead all night and went to Mason Morse with a lead finally. And that really didn't go well for him. His slider was good, but I think he missed locations on a ball or two. Braden Holcomb got one out against him. So they ended up having to go McCausland to finish, but they got, 3 or 4 in the 8th and kept Connor Spencer in the bullpen, which might come in handy for them later. But anyway, I think 3 home runs for Ole Miss tonight. Hill, Utermark, and I can't remember who had the third.
Federico.
Big win, Hayden Federico. Thank you. So big win for Ole Miss. For Vandy, R.J. Austin back, but did not hit well. They're going to miss Sawyer Hawks for the series because his grandmother died. So I don't think he's even on the roster now. He's gone home to be with them. That's Vanderbilt's best pitcher. Bullpen rotation, whatever. And Jacob Humphrey, who's their starting right fielder, who's had a nice year, got hurt tonight. Looked like he hit his head on the third baseman's knee, sliding on a triple. Don't know if that's precautionary or not. David Mendez went in for him. So big night for Ole Miss is for Vandy. Would have liked to see that go better. Sloppy defense, a couple of wild pitches, scored some runs. Things are kind of uncharacteristic of the way they play the ball, or way they play ball. But I think the probably the big thing was Hunter Elliott was just good enough in the early innings, even with the walks. They just didn't give him anything to hit. Vanderbilt couldn't string anything together, and Ole Miss goes up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, credit to the Rebels for hitting the home run like they did against a Vandy team that I would argue is one of the best in the SEC when it comes to just pitching. Their staff has been formidable a lot of times this year, and Ole Miss wasn't really affected by that. Some defensive miscues by Vandy obviously helped, but The home run hitting was there. Mitchell Sanford, really good game from him with 3 hits. Had a double in there. Couldn't get any RBIs in, but he was just, again, helping to create that offense. So good stuff from Ole Miss. Went away. As for Vanderbilt, like you said, Chris, kind of uncharacteristic. I wouldn't be too discouraged. You still have 2 to play here, and they can easily get it done with the kind of pitching they have. Hawks not being there hurts because that's the guy that shuts down games for you. But nonetheless, still have faith in what Vandy can do, and we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt's got the pitching edge, even with Hawks out from here on. Ole Miss is going to go what it's gone all weekend. That's what Nichols and – oh, good grief. That's why you keep notes here. It's the 2 guys they've started all year, Alfred. Help me out here.
Oh, Maddox.
Riley Maddox and Mason Nichols
in
that order. Right. Sorry.
It blanked me. No, it blanked me too. Don't worry. And I had it.
I don't know how many pitches Morris threw tonight. But that I would guess they could bring him back in game 3. Vandy didn't really use the better part of its bullpen that was left.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. Bowker's gotten hit a little bit lately, and Connor Fennell's just been unbelievable. So pitching tilts to Vandy, hitting advantage definitely to Ole Miss, especially if it becomes a power game. So we'll see how that one goes. Florida, the Gators are really starting to put it together, Alfred.
Yes.
Liam Peterson tonight struck out, 13 in 6 innings. Was it Luke Heyman had the big home run, the 3-run job off of, who was it now?
Carter.
Yeah.
Dylan Carter.
Yeah. Kind of came in a key spot. And did you see the ball that he hit?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I stand corrected. It might have been Zach Root because Zach Root went 4 1/3. So I'm assuming that's when they pulled him.
I think there were Root's runners.
Okay.
And it was Carter gave it up. Yeah.
Got it. So, yes, I did see the ball, though. And, man, I mean, it was that's just the kind of guys Florida has. It's kind of nice to see, too, because it felt like their power had been coming from only certain players this year. And Luke Heyman was not one of them necessarily. Now that he maybe has a long ball going, it'll help this team. Just completely shocked by this result. I mean, this is the unexpected result of the night, even with what will happen in this Texas A&M game and Tennessee LSU games and these other good ones. Extremely impressed with Jake Clemente, Chris. That's my guy of the night. 2 2/3, 3 strikeouts, earned a big save on 31 pitches for them. Again, pivotal guy in Kevin O'Sullivan's pitching room right now, who's going to be pivotal for them going forward. Wonderful stuff from Florida all around. I loved what I saw. Hitting up and down the lineup was all there. Brendan Lawson with a really good game. He's been phenomenal. One of these freshmen, if we had an all freshman team, he would be on it in some facet. So great stuff from Florida. And again, the advantage here is you're a win away now with 2 games to go. And Arkansas is the one playing from behind on the road.
I don't know that we should be that surprised. Peterson's been really good. Florida am I dreaming? Clemente, did he miss a week or 2 earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, getting him back, you remember how well they were throwing to start the year?
Yeah.
Before we got into conference play. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And before the injuries started to take their toll. This is still a really talented Florida pitching staff. Now, I know that a lot of their depth has been eaten away, pitching-wise and hitting, too, losing 2 starters in your lineup. But this is kind of what Kevin O'Sullivan did a year ago. Right. They got guys hurt, and in the postseason, they just kept on finding guys. I mean, he recruits at a very high level every year. Sometimes you give a guy an opportunity that he wouldn't get otherwise. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing here is the depth that he has recruited is kind of winning out. Like, if they get all their arms healthy, Alfred, they could make a run back to Omaha again. Or even without it. I mean, the way some of these guys are pitching right now, and Aiden King, their best guy, goes tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, wherever Florida ends up, if they do make the postseason, if they have games like this and get a series win, it becomes a lot more in the picture. Do not want to be around them based off what happened last year in the tournament bracket. I mean, they are formidable. Clemente, too. Do you remember what they did with Neely last year in the tournament. Clemente reminds me of someone that can kind of replicate that a little bit, where Kevin O'Sullivan goes, look, I need you to go forever, in this outing if you can. And he's been doing kind of similar stuff to that, and he did it tonight. So, again, huge stuff. Luke McNeely came in there too, barely pitched. They can use him again if they want. Man, Florida has a real advantage here. They didn't use a ton of guys. I guess Arkansas didn't either, but yeah, this is the kind of game Florida needed, and they got it.
Yeah, I think this staff is better than the one they had last year. Now, look, last year they had Caglione, which, a nightmare to pitch to. They don't have a hitter like that, but I think their staff, their top end guys are better and more mature this year.
Right. Yeah, very much so. And I guess to talk about Arkansas for a minute, I don't know if we have a lot of those people in the chat. That tends to not happen when they lose, but I'll touch on them. I think the hitting there wasn't one guy that stood out hitting the baseball. I know Kojal and Aloy both had homers in this game, but everyone who got a hit had just one each. So,
yeah,
it wasn't necessarily one guy stepping up and being big all around. Justin Thomas Jr. had a big knock to get some runs in. And you kind of just came up a little bit short in the end of this in a 8-6 or 6-4 final. But, I'd expect Arkansas maybe to get some guys having multiple hits in for the rest of the series. I think that's kind of where they came up a little short tonight. And obviously, maybe you wanted to see a little bit better out of Zach Root, who eventually gave up, those runs based on the runners he created. I don't know. I wouldn't think too much into it if you're Arkansas. This team is still great. This series is just going to be that much better because of this Florida win.
By the way, things getting interesting in Austin. Kimball Schuessler up with 2 guys on, 2 out in a game that Texas leads 1-0. So, got one eye on that when it's not on Tennessee LSU. But I think for Arkansas, I'm getting a little bit more concerned, to be honest with you. Now, look, this is the SEC. You play in tough teams every week, and I think you should always remember that first, right? I mean, Florida's a really talented team. I know, Florida's now 5 games under 500 in the league.
Yeah.
So not a great record. Florida's also played a killer schedule, but Root has not been very good his last few starts. Their rotation has been shaky lately, I think.
Right. Yeah, and actually, Florida, you said Florida's schedule is not pretty. Have you seen Arkansas's, Chris? Texas and Fayetteville next weekend, at LSU, which is always good when they meet, and then Tennessee to end the year. That's not pretty. And the midweeks mixed in, they don't have – actually, they have one next week at Missouri State, who they already lost to. So, yeah, maybe you start to, open your eyes wider if you're an Arkansas fan a little bit. You really kind of I think you needed to kind of take this series if you want to have a good chance at winning the other series, but you want to grab a win. I mean, you can't. I don't think Florida will sweep this team. They're too good for that. But I think you need to actually play some good baseball the rest of the way here in Gainesville and grab wins at the very least, and that's obvious. But yeah, not a pretty schedule. You'd like to see the pitching, be a little bit better in the next few days.
Weston Moss has just gotten A&M out of a jam, so we'll head to the 7th with Texas leading 1-0 there, and we'll get into that one a little bit. Alabama, Missouri. Missouri's lost again. I don't know what to say. Apparently, Missouri started a player that wasn't on the roster this weekend, which resulted in an out.
Yeah.
Somebody's passed that along to me. I'd have to fact check that. That's true. That's not the kind of mistake you want to make. I didn't get to watch much of that. Did you?
I did a little bit. Alabama went way ahead early. They were up 6-0 heading into the top of the 6th. Missouri tacked some runs on late. 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Then Alabama had had an insurance run in the 7th and that one to kind of seal it. Homering for the Tide in that game. Jason Torres and Cade Snell. Snell with a really good night. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Justin LeBron. They won with Justin LeBron going 0 for 4. Chris, which is decent. He struck out twice in that one. So you'll like to do that if you're Alabama. Richie Bonamalo, really good game. Three hits for him in this one. Riley Quick was solid, just one earned run, just one walk. Only 3 hits in 5 2/3 with 7 strikeouts. Braylon Myers, really good to end that game. 3 innings and pitched, 50 pitches? Yeah, and struck out 6. So pretty controlling win for Alabama. They take this series after a little bit of a scare on Thursday night with Missouri. Nonetheless, Tide racking up wins when they needed to, and this Missouri weekend will do that for them. Good performance out of Riley Quick. Myers, really good player for me tonight. Him and Bonamalo were my 2 guys of the night for the Tide.
Yeah, Quick pitched like an ace again tonight. 5 2/3, 1 earned, 7. I'm a little surprised they went to Myers in that spot because they had a 6-0 lead. I guess. I guess they brought him in to get Austin Morris out of a jam. Looking at this now, maybe.
Not the first thought I would have had though. But
no, he's their best bullpen guy other than Osmer, who they used last night. So
yeah.
With their pitching being kind of shaky, I mean, Missouri can put up some runs. I guess maybe that's your justification. You throw Myers there, you call it a day, you get the series. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add about that one. So those are the 4 in the books, right? We got them all.
We did, yes.
Okay. So now we've got Mississippi State up 2-0 in Auburn in a game I didn't think we'd be maybe seeing tonight potentially. We've got Tennessee and LSU. Tennessee's got traffic, loaded the bases here in the second against Cade Anderson as we have a mound visit. And Dylan Valantis is up in the pen for Texas with the 1-0 lead. Who is on now for Texas now?
Grubbs.
Max Grubbs. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Although, again, you'd probably hope not to use him in this spot, but.
Right. It's tight. And, I mean, big momentum in this series, right, with whoever wins it. Huge momentum. So, I don't blame him for it. At some point, you got to use him, and that's I like it. I like it. I mean, this is like top-notch series. This is like arguably the best one we're getting so far in the college baseball season. And he's done, Michael Early, not happy.
Yeah, see, Texas will go Harrison tomorrow and Flores on Sunday. Spencer, of course, is out for the weekend. And now we get Grubbs. And let me check on Riojas' line. People in the chat saying he pitched really well.
He was great. He had an athletic double play I saw that was awesome. I was going to announce Mississippi State, Noah Sullivan 2-run shot was the hit that got them up 2-0.
Okay. Yeah, Riojas 5 2/3 scoreless, only 3 strikeouts, but Texas gets a lot of ground balls.
You will take that length of no-run baseball out of Ruger Riojas every single time he's up in the absence of Jared Spencer. Yeah, which is great. I expect them to do this again next Friday night and do it until it breaks, which is great.
And Grubbs just got him out of the inning with a noisy fly ball to deep center. So,
hold on. Did you expect a 1-run game like this, Chris, or were you thinking more offense? I guess this is a pretty good pitching matchup to have that. So,
I mean, I thought more offense the way A&M had been hitting, but I mean, with Texas, it shouldn't surprise you.
No,
I think if you're A&M too, throwing Weston Moss in this spot down a run, that's one of those that, like, if you lose tonight, you may question that the rest of the series.
Yeah, this is that'd be a big get for A&M if they could come out and win this and come back.
Yeah.
Tennessee game going to last till 2 a.m. I bleed orange. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, probably so.
Right.
I'm going to check other scores around the country because I'm starting to do a little bit of watching elsewhere, especially the ACC. You have Irvine beating Cal Poly tonight. That could put Irvine kind of in a hosting discussion. Yeah, which I think it's going to be there anyway.
Cal Poly's really good too for everyone watching. They're a really good team this year.
Yeah, they are. And you know what? I'm glad you said that because now A&M series, remember A&M got them in a series, the first or second weekend of the year?
Mm-hmm.
That went from one like, what's wrong with A&M? Why are they not, dominating that one to, okay, now that's a solid win over like a 2 seed somewhere.
Right.
You've got West Virginia, which is squarely in the hosting mix, is now 33-5 after beating UCF. Oregon beat Oregon State tonight. Oregon State in the mix to host. Wow. So that's one that a lot of SEC schools were glad to see. And Florida State killed Louisville. Florida State's probably a national seed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech's in contention to host. Virginia beat them 12-9. It's going to be very interesting to watch Virginia, how it finishes.
Yeah,
NC State beat Clemson, which is good for the SEC teams hoping for a national seed too.
Mm-hmm. Virginia with a weirdly off year so far. Kind of, I wonder there because they remind me of Florida a little bit. I don't know if you think so, Chris, with O'Connor, where it's like Omaha perennial seemingly with them. So I wonder if that mojo will hit them in the tournament if they do make it. Because I don't know if they could even. It'd be a shock to me if they hosted even at this point.
Well, the Virginia's RPI was 93 coming into the week.
Okay,
and you think that'd be disqualifying, but D1 had them one of the last 4 out. And they do projection, and the reason is their last 4 series are all against heavyweights. So
right.
like if and they're 9-9, actually 10-9 in the league after tonight. So like if they keep winning, the RPI could get into the probably into the 50s.
Right.
At which point if you pick up some marquee wins against some regional hosting type teams, I think that name's going to carry some weight potentially. So.
Oh, yeah. I would think so, too.
I believe Orange, Tennessee, and Texas do not play this year, which is a shame.
Yes, jinx.
Texas rocks, one of our regulars here. Everybody expects a lot of runs from all these hot teams coming to Austin, only to see them get cooled off real quick. That's kind of been how it's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm looking, the most runs Texas has given up in an SEC game, I guess, was 8 to LSU. Is that right?
That sounds right. Because they held Georgia to like nothing compared to what they normally do.
Yeah. Held Georgia to 8 runs all weekend.
And then Auburn, I mean, I don't think Auburn got that many either. No, not at all.
No, Auburn got 7.
Yeah. Texas Rocks confirms, yes, LSU.
Yeah. The first game now, I remember they were going to Starkville, and I thought State was due to play better, and we just didn't really know about Texas yet. And
right.
I thought State would win that series, and it was an 8-7 game in the opener. I'm like, okay, that's what we're going to get here. Competitive series, and then Texas just turned on the Jets and never really let up since then.
No, not at all. 34-5, looking for win 35, 16-2. They've done what they needed to do. I wish I could say when I saw them at the beginning of the year in Arlington and they won that tournament that I could have seen this. I don't know. I thought that would help them championship DNA wise because they went to Las Vegas. Remember, Chris, and they won that tournament too. I think that's just such a huge. That's just like such a good mentality thing to have for a team when you do that kind of thing. And Jim Schlossnagle says in his post game press conferences, he's like, "Look, if there's a trophy to win wherever we go or anything, we want to win it. That's the goal." So that's where we're at. And I mean, he's the coach that gets these teams far. Hopefully you picked up on the horns early if you're a betting man for futures.
They lost consecutive games once this season. That was back in mid-March. They lost to Texas, San Antonio, and LSU back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
And UTSA is a regional team, probably a 3. So, yeah, I mean, that kind of consistency is hard to come by.
Yes. And I think, speaking of going back to Tennessee, LSU, Cade Anderson got out of that jam. LSU in the bottom. 2 outs in that one.
He did. I didn't see how it happened, though.
I didn't either. I just picked that up looking at stuff. 3 strikeouts for Liam Doyle through almost 2.
Yeah. Weston Moss is dealing, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he is. I bleed orange. I don't think Tennessee makes it to Omaha. I think they are really talented and young and will eventually get to the level off last year and years past. I don't know. I think wait a minute.
Oh, did Texas hit a home run?
They did. Is that Mr. Farmer?
Tommy Farmer. Holy cow.
Yes. Jonah Williams loves it. There we go. Texas rocks. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, how about Tommy Farmer? Remember how much Schlossnagle talked him up before the year?
Mm-hmm. He's a guy. He I saw him get really hard on him in Arlington and stuff too, off of base running issues. He wants him to be good. And I think he thinks really high of him as well as all his guys, but him in particular, that's huge. I'm telling you, Texas, if you combat the Max Ballou injury with this hitting from everybody, you're so fine. You are so fine. Like that has worked for them. Big shot there, some insurance.
I shouldn't say this the way A&M has been hitting, but 2 feels like 5.
Oh, in this game,
when you've got Grubbs going and you got Volantis warm in the pen if you need him.
Right. And I think
I say he's warm. I don't know if he's warm. I saw him up. That's
right.
A better way to put it.
Are they doing the ball chant or whatever? And
the ball 8.
Just some friendly banter, of course.
Oh man,
from the Texas fans.
I wonder if you'll see Bubbles.
That was
Farmer's first home run.
Wow. I did not know and would not have guessed, actually.
How many different heroes have they had this year? I feel like it's been a lot.
Oh, I mean,
last weekend it was Schuessler.
Right. Galvan earlier.
Yeah.
Gasparino at points earlier in the year was. I mean, so many. Then Ballou, obviously, too, before he went out. It's crazy. And, I mean, Jonah Williams is, came in and instantly made an impact in his first game. So, yeah, big stuff. I bleed orange. What is your guys' opinion on Clemson? Chris, do you want to hit that?
What was the question?
Opinions on Clemson?
I was looking at Clemson today. Let me pull this up. I mean, you've seen them in person a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. You can never. There are a lot of teams like this at the top, and they fit the bill easily. They're a team. If they're down in a game, do not count them out and do not let up. They will make you pay for it. I saw that when they played Wake Forest. They're the guy to watch on that team. There's guys up and down the lineup, obviously. Pitching wise, I don't know if you know this name or people watching know it. Lucas Malstead. When we get to tournament time, you're going to want to keep a tab on him. He is there, shut down the game, dude, who can go multiple innings in multiple games on a weekend. He's a machine. I mean, I think him and Carson Osmer are the 2 best closers in the country. And Malstead's probably the best closer in the country. He's exceptional. I think Jaron Purify for them has been as steady as ever. Cam Canarella, even if he's having a bad game, if there's a clutch moment, Eric Bakich says he is the guy that you want in a clutch moment. They're formidable. They are at the stage as a program where it's like we want to get to Omaha so badly. We would kill someone for it. And I
was watching A&M. I guess you saw that.
Man,
make that play.
Tough one there. But yeah, they're at the stage where it's like we're a program that wants to get to Omaha really bad. If they get a favorable draw, even with an SEC team in their path, I could see them doing it, depending on who it is. And if they host a super at Clemson again, which at this point will happen.
Yeah, I think Aiden Ack is an okay one. Maybe the year hadn't gone quite the way he's wanted it, but he's pretty talented.
When he's on, except great.
Yeah. BJ Bailey, their two's really good, and then they hand it off to Malstead and Titsworth and Reed Garris, and good luck to you at that point.
Yeah, I mean they've been great. Drew Titsworth has been starting a little too, and he's been great in starts. So they're a team. We're going to study obviously other teams when the tournament gets closer. They're one where it's like we'll have our own section on the Clemson Tigers. But I bleed orange. I think they're very good. I have them as a pretty likely chance for Omaha outside of the SEC.
I started doing a little research on some of the potential hosts elsewhere today just to get ahead of that. Coastal Carolina is another team that's kind of interesting. They got a really good rotation.
Yes, they do. Bodine, their catcher, MLB draft people love him. Love him.
Potential first rounder.
Yeah, so that's the name I keep an eye on for them.
Cade Anderson just got a big strikeout, and he's about to get through 3 potentially here.
3 and 42 pitches against the Tennessee lineup. I'd take that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
I kind of wondered because since the 135 pitch start, his last 2 outings have been very mediocre.
Yeah. Why does Moss look like Billy Bob Thornton's son in Landman? I love that.
I never saw that, but
I love that show. That's so funny. Rox, you are right.
Out of the 3rd.
Good stuff from Anderson. Rox, you're right. Pretty quick for Mr. Moss. Not usually what you see. And they went Cade and Wilson.
Okay.
Grubbs is at 11. Oh, they're going to let him go. He's only thrown 11 pitches. He does. Texas Rocks. He does look like him, actually, now that he's like on the screen. Oh, good one. Who is current coach of the year? Hard not to be Schloss.
Yeah, it's got to be Schlossnagle. I mean, I think it is anyway. But getting through the Max Ballou injury.
Yeah, and Jared Spencer if it continues. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen how it goes yet without him, but there'll be that too.
Right. And I think it's a little weird to say just because, he just went to a national title series and that sort of thing. But, he switched teams, obviously, and he's picked up where he left off and honestly is excelling, you know what I mean, at where he is to the umpteenth degree. So I'd be shocked right now if it ended today. It'd be someone else.
Thinking about A&M's pitching the rest of the weekend, you got Lampkin and Patton who can go deep into games and probably will. Do we have a pitch count on Weston Moss?
Moss went 25, so you could see him again maybe on a Sunday.
Okay. Felt like he was in more than that. I mean, you got Rudis, Freshcorn, Gavin Lyons. You're using Wilson here. I mean, they've got some other arms. They're just not they're not Weston Moss.
Right. No, that pitching alone can match up with Texas's starters very well. Yeah. So this series by no means, this game's not over, first of all, but this series by no means is over either. I think that this win, though, if it's Texas that holds on, huge for momentum and stuff. So,
yeah.
We'll have to see. But again, A&M has the pitching to match up. So we'll see how that holds out the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think what they can't afford is to have like Lampkin get knocked out in the 3rd tomorrow. Like they got to have Lampkin and Patton go deep in games, which they have done pretty consistently this year.
Right. I concur.
Oh, and Texas Rocks brought Mendoza and Rodriguez have been banged up. That's right. I forgot about him. Rodriguez missed, I think, a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, big update.
Oh, and they never had. Oh gosh, who was the pitcher to start the season? The guy they're talking about bringing back now. Draft guy. Yeah. Got hurt before the year started. Texas Rocks will know. I'm going blank on the name.
I am too. Rocks, help us out. I was going to say, look at the Auburn score, Chris. Auburn 4-run fourth.
Oh, man.
Huge knocks from Freilich and Rembert, who's having a great night.
Okay.
3 hits. So that's a whole new game. And they got to, I mean, that's the way to do it. They got to Pico Kohn, too. Not an easy guy to go up against. And actually, Pico Kohn's had 73 pitches through 4 innings.
Yeah.
That was a really good. I don't know. I don't know if you guys talked about that in the predictions. That pitching matchup's great. Dutton and Kohn. That's up there for this weekend.
Texas Rock's question was, who was the pitcher you guys lost before the season? He was a dude, and I've gone blank on his name. Ace Whitehead, thank you.
Yes.
I was
yes.
waiting
Yes.
for
Yes.
it. Yeah. I guess we're getting Jace Laviolette coming up here in the 8th.
Keel as well. Terrence Keel's been phenomenal his freshman season.
Yep. Freshman of the year in the league. I guess it's Philantis, but I mean, the kid at Florida, Lawson's got to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Rodriguez could make a run at it.
Curiel.
Keel would make a run at it. Curiel would make a run at it. It's been a good year for freshmen.
It's been phenomenal.
Weston Rigdon at Vandy's had a nice year, kind of under the radar.
It feels like there's one at every school practically.
Yeah, Tennessee had a bunch, but they're kind of turning into more platoon guys.
Mm-hmm. What team is the most disappointing so far? I mean, it's hard not to say Missouri. I know I didn't expect them to be phenomenal, obviously. I didn't expect them to be 0 for 20, though, in SEC play.
Probably Mississippi State. I did think South Carolina would be better, but the Jersenbach injury before the year was hurtful, and they had somebody else hurt too. I did not think State was as good as it had been cracked up to be. But once they started playing, I'm like, okay, they got some pieces, and they just, it is something self-inflicted with Mississippi State every week. It feels like.
Right. Yeah, they're up there on my list as well. I'd go those two. I'd go Missouri, Mississippi State. Take your pick. Missouri's probably the easiest answer, obviously, but if you want a team that you thought would be way more competitive than what they are, definitely Mississippi State. Have left a lot to be desired at times.
Yeah. I mean, Florida's an answer too, but Florida's is explainable with the injuries.
Yeah.
I think Missouri is the answer because, I mean, come on, 0-20? Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's even in this league, you would think you'd grab a couple wins at the very least. I mean, South Carolina is not that far ahead of them, respectively, with wins. They have less than 5 or 5.
Ooh, Texas just got a double. Who was that? To lead off the inning.
Is that Ben Royo? Is that right?
Let me see. Yeah, that is Royo. Good call.
There we go. I'm good with faces. What
You've
can
been
I
watching
say?
a lot of baseball, my man.
I know the faces. I could point it out left and right.
I could do that when I was your age too.
Yeah, when you're bored and have nothing else going on, you
I watched a lot of baseball in my 20s, my friend. I mean, my goodness. Not that that's a lot of difference from now, but okay, Terrence Keel is up.
Wow, Ben Royo 3 for 3 tonight. That just popped up, which is great considering A&M is as a team beyond him, it has not been delivering as much. The team as a whole is 6 hits, so he's responsible for half. And yeah, Rocks, this is the inning, it seems like, if they're going to crack into this at all.
You know, that's another little storyline with A&M is you got guys that are big deals for them right now that we were not really talking about at the start of the season.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them.
I mean, Sorrell's injury opened up the door for Keel to get some playing time. You know, man, what would this lineup be with Grohovac? My goodness.
Right.
But, like, Blake Benderup is a guy I don't think we were talking about a lot before the season. He's done some things for them at times.
Bear
Keel's
Harrison
had a really nice year. Bear Harrison, although we're thinking about him and George platooning. George has ended up playing some left.
Right.
Because of the injuries. But I bleed orange. Favorite teams, Braves for me. And then we've got the world's only Tampa Bay Rays fan joining me.
Ignore the hat. I just like hats. But for me,
you
it's
do
the
like
Rays.
hats.
Yeah.
Are you still the world's only Rays fan?
I think I'm there. I'm there. Although they just had a really good series in Arizona, and they're playing the Padres tonight. I haven't checked up on that in a hot sec.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my team. Gotta kind of bear with it because, you know, it's a lot of changing players constantly. Not Chris's team. They pay for and get whoever they want and pay them a long time.
Oh, so come on. No, we don't. we went cheap and we didn't get a bullpen and we're paying for it. But we did get smart and sign all our guys in their 20s.
Right.
To big deals, which does help. Big strike out there by Grubbs of Keel on a really beautiful breaking ball. And Schloss, I think, is going to Volantis here. That's the slow walk.
Good move there with Laviolette coming up.
Yeah. Is he your freshman of the year?
Volantis?
Yeah.
I'd have to compare it to Curiel. That's the other one that stuck out to me when you said it or asked it. It's so hard.
Volantis, just because, I mean, he has been untouchable in big spots.
Right.
He's got 9 saves for a team, you know, that is playing a lot of close games and winning them all.
I think it's those two. Derek Curiel, his season stats, 369, 13 doubles, 35 RBIs, on base almost 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had a 495 OBP. Okay. I might have to rethink that one then because that's pretty good. I think if he played center instead of Stanfield, I'd tilt a little bit more that way.
Right.
I can't believe I'm just kind of shocked Stanfield's their center fielder, to be honest. Haven't watched him play it at Auburn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I thought he was going to play somewhere though at some point. I don't mind it. I'd have to go Curiel if I had a vote in the matter.
Yeah, you could split it and justify it. Relievers just, you don't pitch as many innings. But I mean, he's pitching almost starter innings for what starters pitch these days.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good pick too. Those are the top two. I think it's hard to go against those guys. I mean, there's tons of others, obviously, that would receive votes in some facet, but I'd lean those two the most. Then I'd go Lawson. I think Brendan Lawson's up there, like high up there.
Yeah, I do too. Where would Florida be without that guy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been so productive in their lineup.
Okay, here's the thing I'm watching with Volantis. It's not just does he get them this one, but can he get them this one and say, you know, in 20 pitches or something like that and be available for a game 2 or 3.
That's a good point by Texas Rocks. Yeah. Grubbs did not have Grubbs. I think they could go to again in kind of a last case scenario based off his pitch count. He says less than 20. I'll double check you. It did not feel like a ton necessarily for him. He had one really quick inning.
Yeah, I think Grubbs threw what, maybe 80 innings a year ago. I'd have to check that, but I mean, I would think a guy that's used to throwing that much could go again.
19 for Grubbs. He could definitely go again.
Okay. What was I going to check?
Man, if there is any at bat you want to watch right now, turn on this Texas A&M game.
Okay, I want to see their order after Laviolette. They go Hensler, Sorrell, Harrison, Kent. And Laviolette's a guy with a 23% walk rate. So even if you get him out, he could use 8 pitches against you.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison walks a ton. Sorrell walks a ton.
Man, look at the LSU Tennessee real quick. Cade Anderson, 7 strikeouts and 3 2/3. Starting to feel
ground ball out to get out of the 4th.
Good stuff. One of these offenses there is gonna break through eventually at some point. It's just gonna be which of these starters breaks first.
Struck Laviolette out on a breaking ball in the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Just took a ridiculous swing. I mean, that's when you know a kid's special. When you get Jace Laviolette to chase like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the bottom just... I'm trying to remember where Volantis was. I know he was a draft prospect, but I don't remember, if he was a, top 5. I think he was that caliber arm. Big lefty with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go into the future, though. I mean, I'm excited to see where he is on draft boards. It's going to be high.
I'll be interested to see if he gets stretched out and made a starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or do they just say, hey, come in and throw a couple of pitches like you're doing now?
Right. Oh, 3 strikeouts tonight for Laviolette.
I forgot he was committed to Southern Cal until Schlossnagle took that job. And the A's took him in round 20. I'd completely forgotten that.
I do remember that. I remember the A's thing. The Southern Cal thing, I think, kind of stirs the memory up a little.
Yeah.
And speaking of him starting in the future, he did start this year already at times. So he already has that kind of experience to him.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at this. He's got the pitch mix to start.
Mm-hmm.
We go Liam Doyle back on the hill to start the bottom of the 4th. Gosh, another breaking ball. They have no chance at this thing. I think if you see this out of the hand, you just got to lay off that slider.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to hit it. Make him throw a strike or make him start it higher to where he hangs it. And I mean, and good luck with that, but you know what I mean.
Right.
And he's just going to it over and over. They did lay off that one. I'm trying to think of freshman closers that have been this dominant. I can't think of one.
I'd have to.
There aren't a lot of freshman closers to begin with.
No, that's the main thing with me. I can't. You've been around way longer than me, and I definitely can't think of any off the top of my head.
Popped him up to get out of it. See who catches it. Oh, no, they didn't. They dropped it and a run scored. That hung up there forever. Oh. Holy smokes.
That would have been
There
huge.
were four guys there, and I guess, fading back towards the line, and nobody had a really good – that was probably first baseman's play. But it looked like it started towards the back of the infield.
Man. God, if they would have gotten out of that, that would have been 11 pitches.
Well, that was the first baseman's play. He tried to make it, and then, he just – I guess it was cutting back away from him, which is tough. But still, you got to make that play. You're a college player. Holy smokes.
Oh, War Eagle in the chat. Yes, Sam is cooking tonight. 8 strikeouts, 9 in 6 innings. Huge stuff. Big night for Rembert too, War Eagle. Really impressed with him. On that freshman list we have, that's miles long.
Yeah, is Auburn still 4-2?
It is 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th.
I feel like Sam Dutton's pitching line is almost the same every week.
Right.
It's like 6 innings and somewhere between 0, 1, or 2 runs and like 8 strikeouts every time out.
It is. It is like 8
Oh,
or
my
9.
goodness. A&M's got first and second. They just had a little bleeder that didn't get through the infield, but was enough to get a man on. That could have easily been first and third if they don't make the play there. Guess that was Mendoza. Now we got a mound visit. Is this Bear Harrison now?
I'll double check. Let me see. It just flipped away from him. Hold on.
I guess that's just keep your cool. 2 tough breaks. You should have been out of the inning several pitches ago.
And I think that was Duplantier, Jaden Duplantier.
Okay.
We came in on that play. Honestly, I know, he could have been Derek Jeter and made a diving stop at that or something, but best to keep it right there in the infield as is. That is the one thing I love about Max. I feel like he's always smiling when he talks to his pitchers. Like always. Like I've never seen him not smiling, which is good.
You're right. That's Jaden Duplantier, who actually made a pretty decent play. I don't know that he was going to get the out at first on that. He did prevent a base, but that wasn't exactly killed.
And this is Bear Harrison.
Okay. Who walks a lot. And now they're laying off that slider.
Crazy how momentum shifts in baseball. You're seeing it right now. Just a few kind of oofs by Texas, and A&M's back in it a little bit.
How did LSU get the leadoff man on? Ooh, did we just get a home run? Nope. Hit it way up in the air.
Looks like Doyle walked him.
Okay.
Got Ethan Fry at the plate for LSU. Not Frey. I messed that up. It's Fry, like French fry.
Right. God, Bear Harrison had an awful swing on the slider. What do you think he's seeing here? Oh, he went fastball outside corner. Because you look so bad on the slider, I'll give you something else. And he just missed his spot. By the way, in case you guys are joining in, we did talk about the games that are in the books earlier, and we are watching. Oh, he got a strikeout. There it was.
There you go.
Great job of pitching there.
Yes, huge. Texas with a chance to close. Although I'd imagine you'd like some insurance.
Pitch count is at 14. No, it's more than that.
18.
No, I guess it is. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing I said to watch is like you want to, like if you're A&M and you lose the game, you could get a small victory by running him up and making him unavailable for tomorrow and maybe Sunday.
Great crowd at Dish Falk, by the way. I was expected, but nonetheless, great crowd there tonight.
What was the final ticket price on those?
I saw earlier today 140s.
Okay.
That was earlier. Someone else could give me a number, but that was like I'd say around noon today. It was 140. I've never seen a college baseball game outside of maybe an Omaha one that much. Maybe an Omaha one. But that's a lot of money for college baseball.
For a regular season game?
Yeah, which is great. Like I think I know it stinks a little bit for people that can't pay for it or don't want to, but for the game's growth, that's great to see that. Means it's a big deal to people out there, which is what we need.
By the way, are we through the NFL draft tonight?
What was that?
Are we done with the NFL draft for tonight?
Oh, yeah, over.
Did Sanders get picked?
Sanders, I turned it off with 3 left, and no, he didn't get picked yet.
Wow, that's crazy.
Jaden Milroe got picked very late by the Seahawks. Jalen, not Jaden, sorry. Jalen Milroe. Which means
had a few guys taken.
Yeah, I am at a loss. And I do actually, no matter what people say about him, I feel bad. I mean,
too.
This is, yeah. Did you see someone did like a fake phone call to his phone pretending to be a GM? That's
allegedly.
That's rotten.
Whatever it is, I like, how bad could it be?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'd be shocked if he's going to get picked somewhere. And when he does, I don't think he'll play this year, obviously. Yeah. But I think he's going to have a lot of ammo to use.
I might do what Green Bay did like 20 years ago with Aaron Rodgers when you got your other guy and, play him on the bench for a few years and let him develop.
Right. The one thought I had, and they didn't do it, was I guess the Rams do have Stetson Bennett, but they could do, because Matthew Stafford's on the end, and LA would be great for Shador if he does that. But yeah, crazy story. I know it's not baseball, but
Liam Doyle about to get out of the 4th, it looks like. Well, I say that it's 1-0 with 2 outs and a man on first, but he's been there a minute now.
Man, if you're Mississippi State, Auburn just put another run on the board, 5-2. Definitely wanted a little bit better out of Pico Kohn than this. That's going to be a hard hill to climb. Playing them from here on out.
Still on for A&M, by the way.
Got Galvan on the plate there.
Yep. Doyle's going to get out. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, did you see Tennessee?
What happened?
Wait to see the way Ariel Antigua gets Liam Doyle out of the 4th. Tell me if you see it.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Lost his footing on the wet turf and caught it sitting down.
He is so fun on defense. I mean, it's a joy to watch it, and they've been going to him a lot in these lineups. I mean, I think this is like more than what we saw a year ago. Obviously, it's step up time for him, and he does that in the field. You have a lot of faith in him there. To say
well,
the
look,
least.
if they get to Omaha, you cannot be horrible at shortstop. You've got to start getting some stuff locked down. And they've got enough guys. I mean, they can mix and match other places or pinch hit late.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you said? Auburn's 5-2 now.
Auburn is 5-2. Pico Kohn up to almost 100 pitches, and has given up 5 earned.
Yeah,
tough one there. And Auburn does have 2 runners on still. So this was the night. I mean, if you're Mississippi State, you wanted to win this one with him out there. Even I know you're going up against Sam Dutton, but that's the one you wanted to grab. That's a tough one to take. It's going to be a very steep uphill climb to win games now.
He's their best pitcher, and they will have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game ones.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I think it's more than that.
Flores has struck out. Caden Wilson looks steady up there right now.
Yeah, this will be their 6th game 1 loss for State if they lose this.
Oof. All right, Mr. Gasparino, let's see it.
Are you that far ahead of me?
Oh, I might be. I'll shut my mouth.
Are you in a commercial break?
No, you're ahead of me.
Oh,
you're ahead of me by a little bit. I just now got to commercial.
By the way, my long-standing internet problems, I think, got fixed today. AT&T was at my house for 4 hours today.
Yes. That's what we need. That's the win of the night. That might be the gold medal if we had one. You and then you, Rembert, Ben Royo, medal stand.
There you go.
Your internet.
Yeah, should have done that a long time ago. Okay.
Top of the 7th, Carson Myers on for Auburn now. Sam Dutton's final line, 6 innings, just 2 earned runs, just 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, over 100 pitches. Just like you said, Chris, typical Sam Dutton outing.
Yeah.
Which is good to have.
Maybe small victory for State. If it loses tonight, if you can get Carson Myers done for the weekend, that's their best arm out of the pen. I mean, yeah, I would say it is their best arm. Then they have some good ones, but he's their best.
Right. Let's see. Mississippi State has Bryce Chance, Gatlin Sanders, and Joe Powell coming up to bat, the bottom of their order. Chance with a hit tonight.
Okay, here comes A&M. And who have we got leading off? Caden Kent, who's 0 for 3. Jay Abernathy goes down on a beautiful bender from Anderson. Just sat and looked at that one. And that's another place where I guess they've gone defense too in Knoxville, is Abernathy.
Yeah, he's I think that's the best part of his game by far. When I watched them against Florida, exceptional on defense. Very good.
Yeah, and they got Hunter Inslee out there too.
Another freshman.
Yep, and another highly rated one too.
Yes.
Anderson just throwing that bender. So you can see if you can hit it. Tennessee's starting to lay off these a little bit too. He challenged Curley, and he got away with it. So Kade Anderson's through the 5th. Ooh. I just noticed the box score for Tennessee. If you catch what I'm throwing out there.
If what I'm thinking is right, Liam Doyle's has a high pitch count.
I wasn't looking at the pitch count. I was looking at another stat line. But
strikeouts?
No.
We're on a different wavelength. You got to help me.
Okay. 4-0-0-0-2-5 is his line.
4-0-0-0.
It's the through 4 innings. Probably too early to start talking about those things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he's got the chance to do something he's already done.
That's a crazy call right now here in the 4th inning. The no-hitter watch.
with him, it may not be.
Right. No, I don't blame you. His count is high. That is my one worry about it. But we've seen that before too, to be quite honest. So.
I mean, 67 pitches through 4 isn't awful against LSU and Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Caden Kent's running the pitch count up on Volantis here. And, laid off one. Finally laid off the breaking ball. Walk to start the inning. Texas fans are upset, but I think that was the right call.
Thomas Burns is up for Texas if they need him.
Okay.
And then up next will be Binder up, and then Gavin Cash. I think that's the right call too.
Yeah, now they're just kind of laying off it, saying we're going to make you locate that first strike, which I would too.
Right.
I think we hadn't talked about Thomas Burns a lot this year.
No, and that was a big pickup they had from Arizona State. He was one of Arizona State's best pitchers a year ago.
Yep.
And I thought there was I guess probably not, because I thought Max Grubbs would start initially. But I guess kind of a good and bad thing. You know, I thought they might lean on him more, but that's just because their pitching is so good, and, you know, all through and through.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, obviously they trust him, you know, having him come up in this spot. So
what are we doing in the Texas game here? I turn my head, it's 0-2, and we're having a mound meeting? Oh, they're checking his hat.
Oh,
is it a pitch comm?
It's got to be.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, yeah. Galvan's yelling at the dugout.
Freaking out. I can't hear my guy.
Speaking of running at pitch counts, LSU has decided we're just going to make Doyle paint one here before we swing, which is smart.
Mississippi State with 2 on right now, giving Myers a little run for his money.
Uh-oh.
Got Joe Powell at the plate. Gatlin Sanders came in with a knock.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
We are tied in Auburn.
I was a little late to the party. Joe Powell, baby. 5-5.
And Volantis just got an out. Who was that struck out?
Binder up?
I think so. Oh, goodness. Boy, Carson Myers blowing that one. Didn't see that coming.
No, did not. That completely. I mean, I was talking like Mississippi
I say blowing
State.
it. We've got a while to go, but
right.
Yeah.
No, Well, I was speaking like Mississippi State was out of it, so my apologies to Mississippi State. All it takes is one swing, like we saw.
We kind of felt that way.
That is, yeah, that is huge, and there's not even been an out recorded yet by Mr. Myers.
Liam Doyle's got 2 outs in the 5th. Apparently, Cade Anderson and Doyle are just going to
make this not a fun watch
here. Yeah. Well, I disagree with you. I love this type of game. Yeah.
I know you. Yeah, you love this. There's a lot of
runs have come down lately. I don't know what's going on.
I think so too. Compared to at least like last year, so much compared to last year.
I just think some of it is that pitching is really special in this league.
Yeah. There's a lot of good arms around the country too. Yeah. The more I look into it, there's a lot of them that we'll talk about. I mean, we just talked about Canuck at Clemson. I mean, if an SEC team runs into Florida State, I don't know if you knew this, Chris, all 3 of their starters in their weekend rotation got named to the Golden Spikes watch list.
Oh,
so all 3 of them are great there. Arnold, obviously, Vellini, Mendez. I think Grayson Grinsell at Oregon is a guy we're going to talk about. And I mean, that was him tonight against Oregon State, that pitch. So,
have you seen Jamie Arnold pitch in person?
Not in person. Over the television, yeah. But it's
that arm slot looks so tough to deal with.
It is. I mean, it's crazy. They have the thing with them, from what I've noticed, they have the pitching. It's just kind of been a question of, can their bats replace what they lost? And they have for the most part this year, which is great. But I mean, they lost like Cam Smith and Tibbs, and that was huge. But they've had plenty of dudes stepped up. Gage Harrelson has been good for them transferring in. Alex Lodis for a while was a Golden Spikes like front runner ish almost, their shortstop. I think he's dropped a little since then, but I mean, he's been great. That's going to be the question. And at some point, when is that national title for them going to come?
Yeah.
Because it's been knocking on the door seemingly forever.
Cam Smith's already made the majors this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was on their opening day roster in Houston.
Okay.
His spring training was insane. He was like one of the best players in spring training.
All right, it's up to Ben Royo, 2 outs. Man on first, 2-1.
There you go. Yeah.
Matt Bergevin is the guy he just got, who doesn't play a lot.
It's a Fairfield transfer.
Yep.
I believe. Yeah.
Good job. Sure was.
Oh, yeah.
Played a lot there, not playing a lot here. But War Eagle said Eric Snow had a bad error to start the 7th. That's kind of an Auburn-like. Man.
I think if you're Auburn War Eagle, you'd like someone other than Rembert to get some hitting going.
What was that? Volantis threw like a different. I don't know if that was a cutter or what that was there. Wasn't as sharp. Oh, got a base hit. A&M's going to have first and second. Thanks to Ben Royo.
There it is, yeah.
So now we'll turn it back over to Terrence Keel.
That other pitch, Chris, I don't know. That I'm with you. It
wasn't the sharp slider. It was something else.
Right.
Yeah, Volantis is at 36 pitches now. So even if you're A&M and you lose this, you have gotten yourself a little bit of a win.
Right. No, this was good to hang in here like this. And I mean, their hitting was they out hit Texas, toe for toe. I mean, it's 8 hits compared to 7 now. So series is not over by any means, no matter who wins it. especially if Texas wins it. I'll say that. Yeah, Texas
got
rocks.
ahead 0-1. Man, he just locates those pitches so well on the outer corner. I mean, at the knees and right on the edge. And now he got Keel to chase one that was probably an inch or two low, but he's been hitting that spot, so you kind of had to, well, I guess you don't have to protect 0-1, but.
Yeah, that first one is so unfair.
Yeah.
No one will swing at that.
Yeah, I think he's, well, it's probably because he's got first and second, but he's gone to a different, oh, wow, froze him with like what looked like a slower slider or cutter. There's your ball game. That was a tremendous pitch. Like he threw the same location to Keel every time and just said, okay, see if you can hit this.
Right. Chris, Texas rocks. I don't know if they'll go back to him, but you'll take that if that's the end.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, they've still got more bullpen left than A&M. It's just the problem is, and Texas can do it too, right? Texas's guys can go deep into games, but
right.
A&M's got two old guys who've gone deep into games often. And A&M, well, you probably did use Weston Moss in that spot, but if you're Michael Earl, you'd like to have that one.
Don't kid yourself. Volantis will pitch Sunday.
Well,
I can't disagree.
He may.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't necessarily disagree.
He's just not going to throw tomorrow. I wouldn't think.
No, I wouldn't think so either.
I'm thinking of, oh gosh, the guy for Arkansas. Kevin Kopps.
Yeah, Kevin Kopps.
We may never see that again. Well, never too long, but. All right. Yeah, let's wrap it up. I'm not going to stay up for however long Tennessee and LSU goes with travel ball tournament for my son tomorrow.
All good.
Which fortunately is not too far from here, but I'll be out there all day.
Where is it at?
It's in Shelbyville.
Oh, yeah.
The big metropolis of, yep.
Randy, Texas rocks. I don't think the Aggies are going to be in here tonight. Much to the dismay of you two.
Yeah, we've had a little Aggie and Longhorn presence in the shows this year.
Right. Great win for this team. I mean, momentum carries in every series, and this one I think it's massive. And again, if you're Texas, you're at home where you've been exceptional and you're one win away. So nonetheless, like I still stand on what I said, not over. A&M fought till the literal bitter end of this game, and they have the starting pitching at least to go toe for toe with Texas the rest of the way. So not over, but a great win to start by Texas.
Okay, I just flipped Auburn and State over on the iPad. That one's still tied at 5. I think Pico Kohn is still on.
That is crazy. He's at over 100 pitches.
103.
Yeah.
And he now has one out in the 7th.
Oh, you'd like to get something out of Ike Irish if you're Auburn. He's 0 for 4. That would really help.
I'm thinking, how many guys do we have in this league pitching right now? They're going to be first or second round picks. If not this year, it's a lot.
It is a lot. What was I was going to say, like around 10? It's probably more.
Okay, we've had tonight. We've seen, well, Kyson Witherspoon was last night.
Right.
Doyle's headed towards the first round. I would think Cade Anderson's headed towards the first round.
Yes.
J.D. Thompson at Vandy, probably a second rounder right now. That's where he's being mocked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Hunter Elliott is now. He got picked late by the Dodgers. He's not a dominating guy,
Right.
and he's going to have to throw. He's going to have to be finer on the corners. You may see some grace given what he's been through. I think he's maybe a fifth starter down the line. He's just not dominant, but he doesn't give you a lot to hit. I mean, he'll get a shot. I'm not sure what kind of a draft prospect he is anymore. I mean, he's going to get drafted in first 10 rounds, I think. But
Zach Root, Liam Peterson.
Peterson is. I was seeing Peterson about a month ago as in 2026 drafts. It's way too early.
That's true.
Way too early. But I was seeing him as a top 5 guy potentially.
Okay.
And I believe it. I mean, he struck out 13 tonight. Root's a top 5 draft pick, I would think. I haven't seen anything on him. Is he? Wait, Root's not a draft eligible sophomore, is he? I think he's got another year, doesn't he? He was a freshman at ECU a year ago, I believe.
I'll double check that. I think you're right.
Prager's top 5 round arm. I mean, he turned down 7 figures a year ago.
Right. Root is 2025. He is this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or was he a sophomore? Was he 2 years at ECU?
He was.
Okay. Riley Quick might be a first rounder. He threw tonight. I think he's a 1. I think he's not throwing in the 1 because Alabama's got issues elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going more opener on Friday night is teams that don't have 3 guys they can trust do from time to time. I mean, Dutton has played his way, I would think, into a nice draft position. I don't know where Brian Curley is going to go.
He's worked up
VCU a year ago, I would think. Nick McKay's probably not a draft prospect because he's a 7-year guy, but they got a guy in the 3-hole at Kentucky,
right?
Who's an ace and cleaver.
Even Colton Smith was up there. I don't know where he's shifted, but he was high. Like he was, I think, top 10 amongst pitchers heading into the year, draft prospect wise. So college guys
just gone ahead of LSU.
Let's see.
Yep. Who got the hit?
Gavin Keelan got the run.
Yeah.
Let's see. Andrew Fisher.
Oh, man. That
Mr.
wasn't
Fisher.
exactly hit well, but he got a bat on it at a difficult spot.
Pressure's on LSU now with Liam Doyle through 5, no hits.
Auburn's got something going against Pico Kohn. 1 on 2 outs. I think Lamonis is coming to make a change. Maybe not. 114 pitches. Okay. Did he just yell at Pico Kohn to ask if he wanted to stay in?
This is incredible. I mean,
he didn't come to the mound. He just, I don't know who he was talking to.
Right.
Okay, now we got to visit. So, okay. Question is, who does State bring in at this point?
Oh, I know.
Because their bullpen's been atrocious lately. I might say that they've got some arms. They've got Nate Williams has been really good for the most part this year. Chase Hungate has been good. Oh, they're leaving him in.
That's incredible. He's has so many pitches. This turned into a gritty start, if any, from Pico Kohn.
Am I dreaming? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, a lot of people, Joe Powell's going to get a lot of thank you cards if this keeps up.
Am I dreaming, or is Stone Simmons? I thought I'd heard he's hurt because I'm trying to think what State's options are here.
I'll check that on Stone Simmons.
Okay, they stuck with okay. I think I see why they stuck because he's seeing McMurray, who's a lefty. So I think this will probably be the to get him or else. He needed that one and he didn't get it. What's going on in Baton Rouge here? Looked up, we got a little bit of a controversy. Hunter Inslee's not happy with something. Oh, asked him if he checked his swing. Oh, I think, yeah. He went around. It didn't look like it from the center field camera, but when they showed the first base side, he went around.
Oh, Auburn back on top.
Oh, they stuck with him too long, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Big stuff with Cooper McMurray.
Yeah, that was more of a bleeder, not a bleeder, but more well placed than well struck. But anyway.
Yeah, Randy.
All right, Randy's riding me hard tonight.
Well, I was going to say, Randy, they flashed a graphic. I'm sure you were watching the game. They flashed a graphic, and the other two teams in SEC history that had this good of a start are Tennessee in 2022. They were pretty good. And then, Chris, I think you know this team, Vanderbilt in 2013.
Yeah.
Is the other one. So good company, Randy, to say the least. I don't know if you were with us earlier, but I said, I hope people bought stock early in Texas.
Yeah. And I don't really believe in this because like you shouldn't be trying to lose games, but it feels like the super team that's having that kind of year is never the one that wins it all in Omaha. Now look, they are plenty good enough to do it. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they get Max Ballou back, especially the way their pitching is set up. So I'm not saying they can't, but Arkansas had one of those years too. Although that was kind of a how far can Kevin Kopps take Arkansas?
2021.
That team was not built anywhere anything like the pitching staff that Texas has got.
Right. No, that Arkansas team won at Hoover, I think. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And Tennessee won it in Hoover that year.
Year after, in 22.
Okay. But 22 was the year that they were
unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Supposed to win it all and then blew it. Because I remember this specifically. Arkansas, Tennessee, Vandy, Tennessee last year. Okay. Is the Hoover order.
Well, and see, Randy said the thing I was thinking before the year. I just kind of had in my mind this would be the rebuild is not right because like everybody had them as a top 25 team. That's not really a rebuild. But like when you fire your coach, you know, you're not usually loaded for a national title under that circumstance. So,
yeah. No, and I'm with you, Randy. I mean, the recruiting they're doing for high school kids is on the level of LSU and Tennessee, which is the top. Ooh. And Vandy's included in there too.
Kade Anderson just rolled Tennessee into a 4.63.
That was a big get.
What is this thing they're holding up in the dugout in Auburn? By the way, Mississippi State went to Ben Davis, who was a starter at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, is he like a 17-year-old freshman? I want to say he was a kid that declared that skipped his senior year of high school. I could be confusing him with someone.
I think he's a junior. You might be confusing him.
Who am I thinking of?
Ben Davis was JUCO. Community college stuff. You're thinking of.
What am I thinking of? I could be inventing this. That's entirely possible.
Somewhere. Great point here, Nick. Max Wiener needs more praise. Yes. Yes. That's why this pitching is so good. Yes. He's the man. I love that guy. And he is Schlossnagle's right-hand dude. So he's going to stick with him as long as possible. I don't know if teams could pull him for a head coaching job. Do you, Chris? I just don't think Jim Schlossnagle has a grasp on him, I feel like.
He's young, isn't he?
Yeah, super young. Very, very young.
Like a lot younger than Michael Early young?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I would say...
Or am I dreaming that too?
He is...
It's getting late.
It is getting late.
A lot of things.
He was born in 94. So that's 8 years older than me. So he's 31. Wow. 31-30. Rox, I agree with you. I think Schloss's hand on him is too great. Reminds me of Tony Vitello, Frank Anderson. Although that's a little weird because Frank Anderson's older. And he's kind of just like, I'm going to ride it out with him until I'm done. But I draw a comparison there a little bit.
This Ben Davis thing is bugging me now.
I think someone has done that or is doing that. It's not Ben Davis, though.
Well, Ben Davis just got them out of the 7th. Yeah, you're right. He was a JUCO.
Mm-hmm. Man, our top 2 games tonight might be pitchers duels. Well, Texas was, but this Tennessee one's looking like it.
Yeah. Did you see the infield scatter when Hunter Inslee called that ball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Randy brings up Nolan Cain.
I do know this. This is a history thing. He played for LSU when Maneri won the national title, I want to say. I think that's right. Do you think, is that right?
That would have been 09. I don't remember that roster super well.
Okay.
That was another situation where Maneri had just gotten there. And
Right.
It kind of felt like at the time that was one of many to come. And it never quite panned out like that. They went on a heater late in the year and won like 20 games in a row. It was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say he was a part of that. Chris, any thoughts for tomorrow?
Yeah, let's look at pitching matchups. Then I'm going to have to get some sleep. I'm going to be scorekeeping tomorrow. I'm our official scorer. So
I did that in a little too for intramurals.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff. Just sit there and make tick marks.
I'm one of the few people that knows how to do it. So
right, correct.
It intimidates most of the other parents. Okay, let's see. I'm going to just start in order. I've got it written here. Oklahoma and Georgia tomorrow will be. I'm sorry. Where is this one? Oh, Leighton Finley and Malachi Witherspoon. Finley was pretty good last week with the changeup. I saw him in Nashville. So I think if I kind of like Georgia in that one tomorrow. Witherspoon, Malachi is just going to have to be a little more consistent. He's not as refined as his brother. Missouri, Alabama, we go Zane Adams and TBA. Kind of to me, what I'm watching there is they got to get Adams back on track. And I know Missouri's awful, but it can hit a little bit.
Right. I like him to get back on track.
Yeah.
I think that'll happen, though.
Did Kentucky get rained out today? I guess so.
Yeah. Doubleheader tomorrow, starting at 2:30.
So that's going to be weird. You may have some series completed before Kentucky starts. Well, maybe not, but it'll be close. You'll see you get Nate Harris, who's kind of been their Friday night opener against Brandon Stone, who went complete game his last time out. It's actually been better than I thought this year. I kind of passed that off as a one-off, but so that one will be interesting. I think if South Carolina doesn't get tomorrow, they're in trouble.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, so then we've got Arkansas, Florida. That'll be Gage Wood. Be interesting to see how that goes against Aiden King, who's been tremendous.
Chef's kiss to that.
Yeah. Mississippi State, Auburn. They're thinking, God, that's a night game. Evan Sierra and Cade Fisher.
Okay.
Probably neither team feeling great about the pitching matchup there. And then we've got Tennessee LSU will be Phillips and Ice. Now that'll be interesting.
Yes.
I want to see what it looks like for Marcus Phillips tomorrow.
I do too. That'll be big. I think you kind of expect really good stuff out of Anthony Ianson. I think with Phillips, a good start for him could go a long way the rest of the way, however Tennessee lasts this year, however long they last. So pretty, I think, crucial start for him. So very interested to see that, no matter the result tonight in that game.
Let's see Riley Maddox and Cody Boker in Starkville tomorrow. I would think that would be Vanderbilt's most favorable pitching matchup, although Connor Fennell in Game 3 is pretty interesting too. Balker's been really unhittable when he's on, but he's not always on.
Well, which they'll need after tonight. If they can calm down that home run ball, Vandy can easily find themselves back in this. So we'll be watching that.
Nichols is a better starter than Maddox. So if you're Vanderbilt, there's that. So, and Texas, we got Lampkin and Harrison. And who we got on the hill for Auburn now?
That is flipping it.
Oh, that's Hetzler. The Creighton transfer who missed like a month, who is basically their closer.
Yeah. I like that from Auburn. You're in a crucial spot, big lead late. Let him have it.
Yeah.
Let him have it.
Doesn't walk a lot of guys. Pretty heavy ground ball tilt. Keeps the ball in the park.
Randy, thank you for confirming that. I thought he played for LSU. I thought he did.
Who?
Kane. Nolan Kane.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. The mind's starting to go a little bit. It's past my bedtime.
Mine too. I could use it. If you're on the East Coast watching, I know there's a lot of Central Time fans. If you're on the East Coast with me or the Eastern Time Zone watching with me, thank you, because it's almost 1 a.m., but we love baseball, so I could take that over some sleep.
Hey, Bart's dropping in. No shame in that one tonight. Both teams played super well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bart, your starting pitching is exceptional and matches up with Texas at least, if it's not better. I know the Texas fans might not like that, but it matches up well with it at the very least. So, not over by any means. Don't be ashamed by tonight. This was just good momentum for Texas. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, Hetzler got Auburn out of the 8th. And, yeah, wish the rain had held off.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have been through Tennessee and LSU and talk about that one, how it went down. But it didn't go that way. And and I'm sure we'll talk about these later. Tomorrow, are you in tomorrow night?
I am.
Okay.
I'll
I
be here
will
tomorrow
not
night.
be. I'm pretty sure I will not be because, again, I'll be watching 12U travel ball all day.
Same thing as these series. Don't worry.
Well,
Similar
and
baseball.
I'll keep an eye on
Mhm.
scoreboards, but yeah, and I'll be back Sunday. So yeah, to those of you who were here tonight, thank you again. Sorry we didn't have more to talk about. Wasn't the plan. We had scheduled this around 10. Unfortunately, half the games either got canceled or started 2 or 3 hours late. It's just how it went. But we'll do wrap-ups tomorrow night. That one will be probably without me. I may join. We'll see, depending on what it looks like. Sunday, I'll join. Monday, we'll do power rankings. We started doing regional projections. So dipped our toe in the water on that one. Going to be keeping an eye on that. We're basically doing baseball content about 6 days a week around here, 5 to 6 days a week. And by the way, if you watch us on YouTube, do us a favor. Go to where you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever. Leave us a rating over there and some nice comments. That helps us get found. We're trying to boost that audience a little bit. That helps us. And leave us a, nice comment. Thumbs up here. That helps us too. Only if you want to. If you think we stink, then don't do it. But hopefully you liked it, and that helps us get noticed and get advertisers and all the things that keep the lights on. So
you have to. You have to give us a rating. No choice.
That's right.
Yeah, you have to.
You must. Don't let Alfred down.
Please. I'm begging for it.
All right. That's a wrap. Again, thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a great rest of your weekend. For Alfred Esmond, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching our Friday night SEC baseball reaction here on Southeastern 16.